Hi, everyone. Happy Easter. Um, I'm just making some embellishments, and I thought I would just turn on the camera and do a little craft with me. I know it's Easter, so there may not be a lot of people out there, but some people might join tonight, and if not, many of you can watch this later. So I started playing around with these little bunnies, which I thought were cute, and then I went on to 3D circle. Um, Embellishments. I'm getting ready to do a kit to make mini journals, and I was looking for, what are some things we can put on our pages that are a little bit different. And so I thought, we could down, and we now have a tuck spot, tuck something else in. So I thought that was kind of cute. Hi, Melinda from Texas. Thanks for joining. Happy Easter. Anybody else who's joining us, just come on in and say hello over to the right. It's just going to be craft with me. I'm just going to chat. I'm going to go ahead and make some of these with you, and I'm probably going to embellish this a little bit. So let's kind of get started. So I've already kind of cut some circles, and I cut them out of all kinds of things. Scrapbook paper, children's book pages, regular book pages, and I'm just layering them. And you can layer them 3 to 4 layers. Hi, Barbara. And is it Shirl's Crafty World, right? Is it Shirley, maybe is your name? Hello, welcome. I'm glad people are coming in and joining today. So basically, what we're doing is we're just going to start layering. We're just going to layer pieces together. And we're going to see what we come up with. Now, there's no right or wrong way to do this. You can layer 3 or you can layer 4. It doesn't matter. I really kind of like this blue. This is from a children's book. Shirlene. Okay, Shirlene. I love that name. Welcome, welcome. So in this case, I'm just going to layer 3. And I have my sewing machine here. You're not going to be able to see very well because my camera's not at a good angle. But I'm just taking this and just sewing a straight line down. And we'll make a few, and then we'll make a few where we just glue them. So in case you don't have a sewing machine at home, you can still make these. So what is everybody up to on this Easter Sunday? Is everybody done with all their family? And we celebrated yesterday. My parents came down, and we were able to celebrate yesterday. So today's kind of been low key. We've been basically just hanging around the house. It's beautiful here today. The weather has not been nice here, so this is just some coffee dyed paper as well. And you guys, all I did is just use pieces of scraps that I had. So there's nothing fancy about them. Quiet, relaxing day with the husband. That's nice. All right, so you just sew them in a straight line, and then when you're done, you just kind of bend them up like this to create that 3D effect. Now, in a book, of course, they're going to flatten out, but you can see, even though I flattened it, it still has a little bit of a 3D effect. If you use double-sided, it works very nicely. But if you don't, it doesn't matter. So you can see on this one, I didn't use double-sided scrapbook scraps. So once you sew them, just kind of fluff them up a little bit. Leave your back one flat because that's how you're going to adhere it. Now, these would be really cute on a gift. If you like to embellish gifts, you could absolutely use these. These would be adorable on it. Melinda, you're just watching me. Well, I'm glad. So my other thought was of adding something right here. So we could keep embellishing these up. I'm going to show you if you don't have a sewing machine, you can still make these. So I'm going to layer up a few. This. And let's see here. Okay. You can simply take a stapler and staple it down the middle just like that. And you can do the same process. So you can make them like this with a staple, or you can get some glue and you can just put a small bead down the center. Make sure it's small though, because wherever you put that glue, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to layer it up. Just like that. And I'm going to let this one dry for a minute before we fluff it up. But we will. I said we were going to let it dry, but see, I don't have patience, so there. See, you can make these even if you don't have a sewing machine. Now, we need to embellish them up a little bit. They're kind of plain. So I'm going to scoot these over. And you certainly could, if you have a punch, you could definitely punch something. So I have this snowflake punch. Now, I know it's not Christmas, but it's the first one that I grabbed. So if it was a winter theme, I could take this and I could add it on. Actually, let's do the darker side so you guys can see it. So see, I could add this little snowflake on there. What else do I have? I think I have a little, I have this flower punch. It's an oldie, but this is a good one too. So let me grab some scraps. I have all kinds of scraps sitting here. Let's see what we can find here. I'm going to use this one. Here's a nice bold pattern. I now know why we've got different punches now. This one does not like this thick cardstock. There we go. Might have to use different, yeah, it's not liking, this is very thick cardstock. Oh, of course, and now I've got it jammed up. Let me grab a different punch. Oh, maybe I can get it out. Of course my punch would jam up on TV, or on a live stream TV. Oh my goodness. I need to totally jam to that. Okay, let's do this one. So we could add just a little heart in the center. We could keep layering. Let me get some stamps. Let's see. Happy Easter. Hi, Terry from California. Oh, I'm glad you're on your way to a concert. Enjoy, enjoy. All right, I'm going to grab some stamps, you guys. Give me just 1 second. All right. I'm going to grab some of my vintage stamps here. Well, of course, I would reach in and not get very many bright colors. Okay, let's see what we have here. Let's see. Here, cars. It's been so busy since it's finally nice out. Okay, so I could do something like that. I could take a piece of lace, cut a small piece. Gonna layer it right here. Add that lace. And then I'm going to take it, I'm going to add this stamp. You could also add fabric behind it. You could add cheesecloth. You could do just about anything. In fact, let's see what I have here in my little scrap bin. I'm going to pull this up because I found this other piece of lace that will add double lace here. There we go. And you end up with this cute little. Hi, Susan. Thanks for joining. Glad to see you. Happy Easter to you too. Thanks so much for coming in and joining us tonight. Okay, so I created this little embellishment, and I can now take it and I'm just doing the bottom, adding, oops, sorry, you can't see. Just adding glue to the bottom so that I can make it a tuck spot. So I'm going to layer it here in my book. I'm going to put this on here to hold it down. And then I'm going to cut just a little mini tag to go in there. As I told you, I have tons and tons of scraps over here, so I'm really trying to use them up. Let's see, what do I have here? Let's use this one. Take this vintage chenille, and I'm going to just make a little tab with it. And if I had a mini stapler, I would just mini staple it, but I don't have one yet. I know a lot of you have the Tim Holtz mini stapler, and I think there's someone else that's made one as well. I don't know who that is. If somebody knows, let us know. But I'm just going to go ahead and add this cute little tab to the top with a piece of vintage chenille. And, oh, if I can get it to work here. And now I can tuck that adorable tag in this circle embellishment. What do you guys think? Do you like that? So really easy, doesn't need a lot of supplies. All I did is use a circle punch. This is the one that I use, Fiskar. And I think it's 1.5 inches. You can use whatever size you want. but just thought it's very cute. Now, if I decided I don't like that, because I'm not loving this green stamp, to be honest with you, since I put this pink tag here, probably should have put something else. Maybe I'll turn it that way. But I can always just layer over. I could look for stamps that I could maybe find a pink one. If I dug a little bit deeper, I kind of like this one better. Oh, here's a pink one. Oh, look. I like this one better. What do you think? Should I add the pink one over top? Hi, Sandra. Welcome. Happy Easter. Glad you're joining us tonight live. So I decided I didn't love that one, so I'm just going to layer a stamp over a stamp. And now I have this pink one. I think that goes a little bit better with the little tag that I tucked in here. Oh, Terry, enjoy. Have the rest of your afternoon and day. Be very careful out there and just enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Thanks for showing or for stopping in. So there is our cute little tuck spot. All right. Let's make some more. Does anyone want me to make one of these little bunnies? Look at, I thought these bunnies would be so cute for a little kid's journal as a tuck spot. What do you think? Okay, I'll show you how to make these. They're really easy. And I can't remember, there is a tutorial, another lady out there who makes them. I don't know who it is. I saw it a long time ago. So today I was just in the spirit of Easter. Let's make a bunny. Okay, so once again, I'm just going to use scraps. So let's see here. Let's do this one. This one is a 2-inch circle, and it is a paper craft. No, the Paper Studio. I'll be honest with you, I don't love this punch because it's a little more work than I like. To get the circle punched out, you have to kind of line these things up, and I don't know. So you cut your circle. Once again, these can be any size. And then all I did for the ears was freehand them. So I'm just going to make the shape of a bunny ear. And then when you get your shape, you want to kind of just trim it up a little so that it's like if you have any jagged edges. Okay. And now I just lay this down, and I'm going to lay it, actually put it on this side so you guys can see me cut. And then I just hold on to it. You could trace it if you want. I just hold it, and I just trim around the second little bunny ear. So I have two that are the same. All right, so there's my little bunny ears. Now we're going to use this little side where I have a little blue bunny. But before I do that, I do like to ink up the edges just a smidge. So I'm going to use tea dye distressing from Tim Holtz, and I'm just going to go along my edges. Now you don't have to do this step. It just makes them look a little more vintage. Okay. Then from there, I just lay my little ears how I think they're going to look. Oops, let me move up a little, sorry. How I want them, and I take and I put, I'm using Fabri-Tac. You could use hot glue if you wanted to. But Fabri-Tac dries fast. It's pretty much my go-to now. And then decide where you want the ears. Once you get them on, you just want to adjust them. And this little bunny has a little more narrow ears than my first one, but I like that. I like the character of this one. So you can do it however you want. The next thing you want to do is, I'm going to make this one a little boy bunny. So I'm not going to put eyelashes on him. I'm just going to make little eyes. And I draw them on with pencil first, and then I get my black marker. You can use a Sharpie or any kind of black marker that you have. And then I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to draw his eyes on. There. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to put a nose on. On this one, you can see I just used some, now if you have a brad or a sticker or something, all I used was some liquid pearl. But I was looking at this little nose, and you could absolutely use a punch to make a nose as well. So on this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to make a heart shape for his nose. Just like that. And we have this cute little bunny. Now this one, I just did some little punches and made a little hair piece at the top. I'm kind of thinking, excuse me, I have an idea. Let me see if I have any orange paper handy. Okay. I don't know if this will work, but we're going to give it a try. What do you think? Do you like this little guy? I have this weird punch that I never use. It looks like this, but I was just thinking that this looks like a carrot. So I think it's to make petals, but that sure looks like a carrot to me. So I was thinking maybe I could make a carrot. I don't know. Do you think I can we get away with this as a top of a carrot? This is the old Martha Stewart bow punch. What do you think? Does that look like a carrot, you guys? I think it looks like a carrot. I could ink around this a little bit, give it a little bit of dimension. And we just made another really cute Easter embellishment. And I'm just what do you think? Look like a little carrot? Wouldn't that be adorable in a child's journal? We could even attach it as part of the hair bow if we wanted to. I love it, you guys. So I have another idea for the carrots while we're sitting here. See, I had no intention of doing this. I had every intention of just working on circles. But once we made this carrot, I'm just thinking, what if we made a little tiny tuck spot that had 3 little carrots in it? And those carrots could be in a garden themed journal. Are you interested in me making one of those? So I'm using this punch again. All right, there we go. Okay. So I'm going to cut 3 of these little bows. Oops, they just shot everywhere. Where did they go? All right, let's cut one more. Okay. All right, I need to get some craft paper because my idea is going to need some craft paper. So you guys, when it's a craft with me, you literally get a craft with me because this is how my brain works. I get working on one thing and then I move on to something else or I get inspiration. And so this little carrot that we made go with our bunny just gave me inspiration to make a little garden embellishment. All right, so here's my little bunnies. I need a little piece of craft paper. So this is another scrap buster for you. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'll tell you what I'm thinking and tell me if you think this is a good idea. So I'm thinking this is my little fairy door journal that I'm starting. So I'm thinking about making this embellishment just like that with the little lattice pieces. And I'll show you how to make it look wood grain. With 3 little carrots that kind of go on top. It'll be like that. And then this whole thing would be like a little tuck spot. So first thing I'm going to do is create a rectangle. And I would normally use my cutting board, but it's out front right now. I've been putting together kits to put in my Etsy shop. So it's out there. So now I'm just cutting strips of paper because they're going to be my little wood pieces on my flower bed. And they don't have to be perfect because that will help with the rustic feel. And you guys, I don't know if this is going to turn out cute or not. This is the experimenting part. All right, so there's my strips. I'm going to get a scrap piece of paper because we're going to be doing some inking. Let's see what I can find here. I now have my desk just tore apart. Does anybody else just make an absolute mess when they're crafting? I don't understand how it gets so messy so quickly. Okay. So we're going to use this as our scrap piece. I'm going to move my little carrots up here. Let's get this put away. There we go. Okay. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ink my bed, my little flower bed. Sorry, I didn't mean to be out of frame. Okay. And I have this cheap shoe polish that I like to use sometimes to make a leathery look. I'm just going to use this along the edge to give it a little stained look. And we're going to let that dry. That just darkens it up a little bit. I bought it at Dollar Tree, and I use it to make a faux leather look. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my distress pad and I'm going to pull it along my strip of paper. And what that will do is that, see how it's giving it sort of the texture of wood? So I will pull all of my pieces through my ink pad. And what we're going to do is we're just going to layer ink. We're just going to keep layering ink. The layers we do, the more distress we get. So I'm layering this ink, pulling it through. Is anybody still with me? You guys are quiet. What's going on out there? All right, so I just pulled it through. Now I'm going to ink up my sponge really well. And I'm going to just give it another layer of ink. Okay. Melinda, you're still with me, and Sandra's still with me. Awesome. You guys just waiting to see what kind of disaster is going to come out of this? Okay, so I need some darker ink, you guys. Let's see where my vintage photo is. Okay, the vintage photo is a little bit darker ink. And I want to start by inking up my edges real good on my base. I'm going to have ink all over my fingers for this little dinky project that I'm doing. Oh yeah, that's much better. See the difference? I don't know if you guys can see on camera the difference. So this is the craft paper with just the first layer, and this is the second layer. See how it's just darker? And it's more defining. All right. Definitely going to need a baby wipe after this. All right. So the last thing I want to do is I want to lay my strips down. And I'm just going to come in and brush in just different spots with this darker ink. There we go. Okay. So look at the dimension that we have now. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start just building this little guy. And actually, I'm going to see. We might go on the other side, even though I think I'm going to, because I almost think this is too dark, unless I can get this darker. Let me see what happens if I don't know if I'm going to like this dark. This might have to be the back side. I told you I'm building the plane in the air, you guys. I've never made one like this before. Let's see what that's going to look like. Nope, I don't like it. So we're going to do it like this. Okay, let's get our Fabri-Tac. And I'm going to start at the bottom, and I'm going to put some glue. I'm going to take my little strip, and I'm going to press it down and trim it off. So there's my first wood plank. Now, you want to try to use different lengths and widths so that it looks authentic. So I'm going to go ahead and leave a small gap between them. Can you see the little gap? No, it's not easy to see. The lighting's not very good. And now I kind of want to go like, I don't know if you can see, I want this little gap over here so we can start to see some dimension. And because these do not have to be perfect, this is a perfect time for me to add this wonky piece. So it gives us dimension. This could actually be a crate too if you guys needed a crate for something. If you were working on an embellishment and you wanted a crate. Okay. So I want my bed to be a little bit narrower. Now, I think I want to go like this and put some little pieces up here. So I have to decide which ones I want. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put some down this way. And I'm going to leave that up a little bit so it looks like the edge of a bed, a flower bed. And we're going to do one more over here. You have walnut stain, it's dark. You love it. You have another espresso one, love it. You find it hard to work with little pieces like this, Barbara? Yeah, I don't, it is hard sometimes, but you know, just take your time. I'm actually finding that now that it's starting to get a little darker, I'm going to just turn the light on so I can see a little bit better. Okay, so I don't know. Do you guys think this looks like a little flower bed? What do you think? You think we look like a flower bed? Now, here is another little trick I want to show you guys. So if you have your re-inker from Tim Holtz, I'm just going to put a little tiny bit. I know you can't see it. I don't know if can you see that? I put a little drop in there. You can also, I use my little embossing tool. You can dip in there and you can use it. I don't know if you can see it, like a paintbrush. Get this focused. See how I darkened that right there? So I'm just taking it and I'm drawing with it a little bit. And you can smear. But it gives it a little more of that rustic look. So, can you see the difference? And you can just use little dots and kind of do smear marks. The other thing I like to use this for is I will put it on the sides and I will go in between the little marks so that you get a nice definition. Now, if you don't like messy fingers, I wouldn't recommend doing this. So I'm basically just painting a little bit of the ink on, a little darker, giving it a little more character. So just another way, you don't have to have a lot of fancy tools. It will definitely come off with your, and I made it darker at the top because my thought was, you know, it'll look like soil, it looks a little dirtier. Okay, now what do you think? Final thing I'm going to do is just go around the edges, darken my edges. Oh, you know what? I wanted to do a little right here along this edge. There we go. Okay. Is it looking real, guys? Look at my fingers, though. All right, let me just use a baby wipe before I end up with brown ink on everything. Okay. See, you all inspired me. All right, so get a new piece. So this is what we have so far. Now, my thought, and I don't know, who knows, I might change it before it's all said and done, to use these. These are probably the right size now. I don't know. What do you think? Let me ink this up a little and let's see. Now, when you ink this up, because a carrot is round, you want to, I don't know how to explain this. You want to go like this and come out so that it makes that curvature. So when you're inking, don't just ink straight on. Let me do it on a larger one. So you want to push in, so start in and push out. so that you get the curve, if that makes sense. See how that, because if I was just to do it straight, look at the difference. It's just straight lines. But if you kind of go on a curve and turn your hand like this, you get a carrot that has the highlighting that you want. That one got a little darker than I anticipated. All right, let's get these little ones because these little ones might be the ticket. We could maybe have a big one and a little one. I don't know. What do you think, you guys? Think I need the smaller ones? Okay. So this little punch is very old. It's a Martha Stewart punch, and you can see my daughter wrote her name on it when she was 3. So, and she is going to be 15. So it's almost 12 years old. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put one of these on here. This is when I need my tweezers, and I don't have my tweezers up here. I don't get glue all over my hands. All right, let's put another one on. So get out your old punches. I hope this inspires you, if you have punches, to get out your old punches and just start playing around with them. Because who would have thought, the only reason why I did this was because of Easter today. But who would have thought, and I can make each one look a little different. See, that one has a different top on it as well. And I'm just going to draw some little carrot lines on here. What do you think? Are you guys, you need smaller ones? So are you saying I need smaller than this? So you're saying I need smaller than this? Okay. Well, we could cut these down. Let's see what happens if I cut these down. Like this size? Do you like that size better? Let's ink this one up and make one of these and see what that looks like. Okay. Let's put a little glue back here and get a little stem. I don't like that stem. Put this stem on here, and I'm going to trim it. Like that. We'll have to cut a few more out since I've already made these. I don't want to cut all those down. And guys, I'm just using just plain old orange cardstock. Nothing fancy about this cardstock. It's just that multicolor pack that you get at Michael's that I never know what to do with because it's not quite the right orange to do anything with. Well, it works for carrots at Easter time. We'll do this one with just one little stem. It's not easy to put those little stems on. Okay. There's two. What do you think? How's that? Melinda, you think those will work? So now you can flip this over and we're just going to put a little dot of glue where we want our little carrots. This one I'm going to put just barely above. We'll put this one. And now we have this cute embellishment. I really think it would be cute with a little sign on here that says gardens or carrots or something like that. And I think if I could find a little scrap piece of coffee stained paper or tea dyed paper, I think that would be perfect. So I think I'm going to do that. I'll lightly distress it. Let's see how that fits. Melinda, I think you're the only one left with me. Thanks so much for hanging in here. Let's I just wrote the word carrots. Just going to distress the ends. And then I'm going to put 4 little dots at one at each corner so it looks like I've nailed it in. And I can add that if I wanted to right my little planter. And won't that be adorable in a little garden journal or in a little kid's journal? I kind of like it crooked. So there's our embellishments. So I hope you guys liked it tonight. Been on for almost an hour. In that time, we didn't make a lot of embellishments, but we did a couple of different ideas. So we have the little garden. We have the little boy bunny, little girl bunny. Or that could be a little girl bunny too. You definitely could take and, I could put a little bow. This would be cute if I use this and maybe put a little bow up there with that carrot. We made some little carrots. We made our little circle embellishments. So I hope everybody has a great night. Thank you so much for tuning in with me tonight. I hope everybody has a great Easter holiday. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day. So thank you so much. Have a great night.